Before I say anything, I want to preface my comments by saying I still feel like Kevin Durant is one of the best players in the league we have today. He is definitely offensively one of the most gifted players we've seen in NBA history. And this is not to take away from nothing that he did. Okay. But yeah, man, NBA playoffs again. A lot of stuff has been going on. The Lakers at one point looked looked like they was about to get the hell up out of here. But they ended up getting the game. Depending on when I upload this, they either are still in the playoffs or they just got bounced or are about to get bounced right now. But they were able to win one a game. Freaking Steph Curry, he ain't even make the playoffs. Freaking Kevin Durant just got swept. Like, people have been saying that, like, this is like you're starting to see like the old stars like phase out because they're either not making the playoffs, getting swept, or just getting absolutely embarrassed by these young players now. And it is kind of wild to see how these playoffs have been looking. But this is about the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant. First off, the Phoenix Suns, they got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I predicted that Minnesota was going to beat them in like maybe 6 or 7 games. Just given the, I literally remember when Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant and them came to Phoenix. I'm like, bro, this is just going to be a worse version of the freaking Brooklyn Nets. I never thought the Phoenix Suns was going to do nothing special. As soon as they got, suckers could say whatever they want about Chris Paul and a C-Piss3 and CP0. The most recent best Phoenix Suns team that we seen was in 2022 when he was still there with Devin Booker. He had suckers believing that Devin Booker, D Booger, was one of, if not the best shooting guard in the league. At one point, suckers was saying that Devin Booker, suckers was comparing this man to Kobe Bean Bryant. Devin Booker. I ain't even gonna get on here. I could literally go down the list on this whole Phoenix Suns team, but we ain't even gonna do that. The Phoenix Suns got swept. Like, they just got flat out embarrassed, really. And Anthony Edwards, whose favorite player is Kevin Durant, literally owned his favorite player this entire series. Like, I thought at some point it was going to be like Durant, like, be like, all right, youngster, let me show you how it's done and how you ain't ready to take this spot in the league yet, and humble him. I was like waiting for that moment. The moment never freaking came. And I'm not putting all this blame on Durant. I'm not. The Phoenix Suns team just sucked. This team, thank the Lord. Thank the basketball lords out there that the Heat did not bite for that Bradley Beal trade. What the hell did Bradley Beal do for the Phoenix Suns? This man, Anthony Edwards, was giving it to Kevin Durant. His favorite player, he was giving it to him. Whichever way he wanted it. Crossovers, J's right in your face. The sucker even dunked on him in the last game, gave him a facial. You can't go out like that knowing you going against someone that looked up to you. And you're literally getting sunned by someone that literally like getting sunned by someone that looks up to you. And then at the end, he freaking says, oh yeah, Anthony Edwards is my favorite player to watch. How embarrassing is that? A player that looks up to you and calls you the GOAT. And calls you your favorite player of all time, you get dicked down by him. And then at the end of you getting swept, say, oh yeah, he's my favorite player to watch. And this is the sucker that And this is the sucker that people say is the greatest player? Better than LeBron? Kevin Durant. And let me say this too. And y'all know I am not a Bron sexual. I am a LeBron fan, but sometimes that sucker annoys me. So you can't call me a Bron sexual. But let me say this too. Swap spots. If LeBron was in Kevin Durant's shoes, and let's say since he left the Heat, this is what LeBron has been doing. This is what his track record has been. This is how he's been going out in the playoffs. I ain't even a LeBron sexual. You can't tell me these suckers would not be flaming LeBron James. Saying this is the GOAT. He can't. Oh my, bro, LeBron would catch. This sucker wouldn't even be in the discussion anymore. Suckers wouldn't even talk about LeBron. And if you've watched any of my previous NBA vids or NBA playoff vids, I've been saying this for years, and suckers be looking at me like I got 8 heads. I'm gonna say this junk again. Kevin Durant is an overrated basketball player. The nerve of this sucker to say a few months ago, well, I don't know how I'm not in the conversation as the greatest of all time. And his stands be thinking that he's actually the best player. Kevin Durant, as good as he is, Kevin Durant has never been the best player in the league. Ever in his career. When suckers was believing he was the best player in the league, when he had literally the freaking all of the infinity stones with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond and the freaking Warriors team that just made the finals without him, that's what made him the best player in the league? Getting those 2 cereal box getting those 2 cereal box championship rings is what made him the best player in the league. I'm not trying to slander Durant. I'm just simply I'm simply putting up the mirror for what really Durant has been since he has left the Golden State Warriors. What has this man done since he left his father, Steph Curry? He went to, well, I don't even think at first he wanted to go to Brooklyn. He only went to Brooklyn because Kyrie convinced him to go there. I think Kevin Durant, I think he wanted to go to like the Knicks or the Heat, whatever. And then Kyrie couldn't convince him, no, bro, let's go to Brooklyn. And then Kevin Durant is like, oh, okay. So he follows Kyrie, goes to Brooklyn, dud. After Brooklyn, he goes to I don't even know. Did he have another? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. After he left Golden State, it feel like Kevin Durant has been on like 4 teams. But I think it was Brooklyn and then Phoenix, right? I think. Was it? I think it was. Brooklyn, dud. Phoenix, dud. If this is the best player in the league, if Kevin Durant is as good as people say he is, why has this sucker not been able to? Has he made it past even the second round since he's left Golden State? I don't care. I don't want suckers to bring back up, well, that series to where it went to Game 7 with under the Bucks, and he took that shot where his big toe was on the line. Because suckers love to hold on to that. Somehow, some way, Kevin Durant has given people amnesia. Somehow, some way, people keep on letting Kevin Durant, the supposed best player in the league, off the hook. I said this when he lost to the Bucks. I said this when this sucker got locked down versus the... Have people already forgotten about that? I ain't never seen a team lock down Kevin Durant the way the Celtics did last year. Was it that last year? I ain't never seen a superstar player of Kevin Durant's stature get locked down by the Boston Celtics the way they did that man last year. Suckers even forgot about that. Now this is the new thing. Are people going to forget about this as well? How many moments do you have to look at Kevin Durant for him to show you he is not who you think he is? This man said a few years ago when he was in Golden State, by the way, you know who. Yeah, I can really flame this man's whole career if I wanted to. You know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. I ain't heard that sucker say them lines since he left the Golden State Warriors. You know why? Because it's easy to say that when you in a power position, knowing that really no one can compete with you. Say that when you was on Brooklyn. Say that now when you on Phoenix. You know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. The way people have forgotten all of the failures that this man has had in the playoffs astounds me. And they let this man get off the hook every single time. And then it's like the next year will start and suckers will be like, is Kevin Durant the best player in the league? No, he's never been. Kevin Durant could be the best player on your team, but you still need a leader to like lead the troops. Kevin Durant is not going to do both. He just likes to go out and do his thing, and he could be the best player, but he needs that Russell Westbrook or that Serge Ibaka or that Draymond Green. Phoenix didn't have none of that. Brooklyn didn't have none of that. And I'm telling you right now, I said this before, I'll say it again. I don't care how crazy suckers look at me. Kevin Durant, if he never had that little Golden State stint to where he only left that damn team because Draymond essentially said, you a bitch and we don't need you, nigga. That's literally the only reason why. If he never had that stint in Golden State, Kevin Durant would be the modern day Tracy McGrady. Offensively, a very skilled player, but you ain't gonna really have no big impact in the playoffs. And then then suckers would be like, no, because Kevin Durant made it to the finals and he's done this and done that. Yeah, he has. I'm just saying though, since he left Golden State, and you also have to think about this. Compare Kevin Durant's career and teams that he had versus Tracy McGrady. Kevin Durant has played with an all-star MVP damn near on every team he's been on. OKC, Brooklyn, Phoenix. He's always played with like another MVP, top 5, top 10 player. Tracy McGrady has never played with someone with the squads that Kevin Durant has played with. So that actually makes Kevin Durant look even worse. We could look at what Kevin Durant has done since he has left the Golden State Warriors, and he has essentially done nothing. Just put up numbers, look great during the season, but come playoff time, he's never in the picture. He's never really considered to be, they going to be a championship contender. He's never like a freaking roadblock or an obstacle for another superstar player. You know why? Because he's always sitting at home. And Goku, I'm talking to you, sucker. The sucker that be in my Discord server, this sucker swore that Kevin Durant was the best player in the league for like 5+ years. This sucker will say he's better than Braun, he's better than this person, he's better than that person. Boy, you look at this sucker today, this sucker is in my server. Looking like looking like a lost dog, a hurt puppy because he don't know what to say right now. Even he's shocked by the way the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant just went out. And again, I know this is a team sport. This isn't all on Kevin Durant. But what I am putting on Kevin Durant is his choices of teams that he's joined since he has left really OKC. It made all the sense in the world to join the Warriors. He could say all he want. Oh, they have played a beautiful. What did he say? Oh, I just like the way they have played basketball. The ball just moves. And sucker, you wanted 2 easy rings. Just say that. Like, come on. Like let's just stop lying to ourselves. After that, this man could have came to the Miami Heat. Kevin Durant, you could have came to the Miami Heat like what, back in 2016 or something? 17? I remember when the Heat was trying to recruit this man. Where did he decide to go instead? Was that after the Warriors was like after what, 2018 or 19? So I think he went to the Warriors to get them 2 rings. But then after he left there, he could have came to the Heat again. He instead chose to go to Brooklyn. After he left Brooklyn, he could have came to the Heat again. He chooses to go to Phoenix. You could have been on an actual NBA team with competent players to build a team with a competent coaching staff. A competent organization that knows what they're doing. Could you imagine the Heat with Kevin Durant? What we've been doing without really a superstar player, as good as that boy Jimmy Butler is. I hope that sucker gets better, by the way, because Lord knows we need him right now. If we've been doing all this really without a superstar player, could you imagine if Kevin Durant actually bought into Heat culture and was on the team, what we could do with him? Now this is going back years ago. I ain't talking about now. I don't really know if the Heat would want Kevin Durant. Let me rephrase that. Kevin Durant is what, 35 years old now, going on 36? I don't think Noah teams are going to essentially gut their team to pick up Kevin Durant today. Kevin Durant is getting old, bro. He's like right up, like he only 4 years younger than LeBron. It ain't like Kevin Durant is like this spring chicken, like still got 10 plus years in him. Kevin Durant is getting old. So it ain't like teams now are going to throw the freaking cow and farm to get Kevin Durant. He wasted his years in Brooklyn, wasted his years in Phoenix. And now this is what you have today. Suckers is saying that Kevin Durant is washed. Suckers is saying that Kevin Durant is a bum. Suckers is saying that Kevin Durant needs to retire. That's what they're saying. Retire. I'm not making up none of this stuff. And honestly, low key, that last option that I said, retire, it might be something he want to truly consider. Because after this, after the way this sucker just went out, what next? Do you stay with Phoenix and try to build on something? That's not the Kevin Durant way. You need your next chapter, don't you? You need that next chapter to somewhere. Are you now going to say, well, the Timberwolves play a beautiful brand of basketball, and I want to play with one of my favorite players in Anthony Edwards and try to join the Timberwolves now? Are you going to try to switch up and go back to OKC because OKC actually is a better team than the team that you are currently on by far? This has always been my issue with Kevin Durant. And again, this is not me, but it's so hard to like make it seem like I'm not trying to slander him, because it do sound like I'm slandering him. Because it do sound like that. But just as a fan, This has always been my issue with Kevin Durant for years. This man always tries to choose the easiest route. That's why you can see it in the way he decides which teams he wants to be on. He gets on teams that just got a whole bunch of offensive talent to where he don't have to carry the bulk of the scoring. And to him, he actually thinks like that's a brilliant idea. That is not why you won on the Golden State War. That is not why you won when you was on the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, you had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond, but they actually had a system. They had a good coach. They fit you into that cog perfectly, and that's why it worked. You can't just put a bunch of players that could score the ball together and just think that, oh, we gonna have success doing that. If you ain't have it with James Harden and Kyrie Irving, what the hell did you think was gonna happen with D Booger and Bradley Beal? So when people say that Kevin Durant is the best player in the league and he's this and he's that, I simply say I ain't got nothing else to say no more. Look at this sucker's track record of what he's been since he has left the Golden State Warriors. If you truly are that guy, you have way more success than what he's been having since then. And he hasn't really had all that much.